Well, what we want to talk about today is getting a five-star review and customer interaction, customer service. Compliance dictates that we can't always have an open door policy in F&I. Our office isn't a place where we want people to hang out, come in and go as they please. We kind of keep that secured. However, sometimes we need to get out of our office and spend time with our best customer. And your best customer is right outside your office, and that's the sales department. And as I was getting ready for this and doing some research, I found out some things that I thought were pretty interesting. Whether it's a business, a restaurant, a service, or a profession, there's certain things that 5 stars, to give a business 5 stars, have to be met, and they all have in common. And it's kind of interesting. The 10 things that are most important in getting a 5-star review in any business is customers expect us to know our product. They expect us to be friendly and say thank you. And they expect us to be helpful, even if it's not our area. They expect us to be well-trained, responsive. They expect us to ask them for their feedback and then implement the feedback that's given. They expect us to take the extra step when needed. They like it when a business or a restaurant throws in something extra. They like it when we deal with complaints in a quick and professional manner. And of course, the customers always like us when we listen. And those are the components that are common to most 5-star reviews. So, most of all of our business comes from the sales department. And without the sales department, we know we're out of business. And, they get to experience our customer service skills just about every day. They can and do influence everyone we offer our products to. And our reputation in the F&I is known just like any other business. And when people come into the dealership as new salespeople or managers and they ask what you're like, they kind of reflect based on your reputation in that marketplace. So, what is your reputation in the sales department marketplace? And I'd like to know how many reviews, what do you think you would get? If you could just tell me right now, based on your customer service, as we relate those top 10 to F&I, anybody out there get 5 stars, you think?
Hold your hand up so we can see it.
Anybody?
Oh.
I think I lost my audio.
Not very many so far.
Okay. Well, let's go through our list of the top 10 as they relate to F&I. Know your product. Well, it kind of goes without saying, but are you an expert on product in your store? Do you understand all the terms and conditions? And the customers expect you to know that, and so does the salespeople and sales management. It gives them confidence if they understand and that you know everything there is to know about the products that you sell. So like on a scale from 1 to 5, how would you, the sales department, rate you on your product knowledge? I don't know.
That's an interesting question because you have to ask it from 2 perspectives. One of them is 3 perspectives, actually. One of them is, how do you feel your customers would rate you? How do you feel your sales staff would rate you? And how do you rate yourself? If you rate yourself a 10 as far as product knowledge and, you sit in front of a customer and you don't have all the answers, then maybe you're not a 10. Maybe you need to, maybe you're only about a 7 and you need to bone up on your product at the start of the year and refresh your product knowledge so you'll be ready for that customer. When they have that question, you can fire right back the answer to them and show your confidence and close the deal.
Great stuff, Paul. Thanks. I'm seeing that we're having some issues with the audio controls, so I won't be able to hear all of you, or you won't be able to respond. Some of you I can hear, so please speak up and let us know if it's working whenever you get a chance. Number 2 is be friendly and say thank you. This is a good one. How approachable are you in F&I? Being friendly in our world can be something we have to be a little bit deliberate about. And when you're slammed and you haven't had lunch and you look up and it's 10 minutes to 5 and you're supposed to go home at 5 o'clock and the sales desk comes up and says, I got one more for you. This guy's been a little tough. I don't think he's going to want anything. Do you look at him and say thank you? Probably not. But think about it. What would your reaction be in that situation if you hadn't had all those deals back to back all day and it's been 3 days since you had a deal? We'd probably take the deal a little bit more with a little more enthusiasm and be a little more friendly. And if we have had all those deals in a row, are we grateful that we've been busy all day and has had so many opportunities? So how friendly are we to our sales department?
Your attitude dictates your altitude. You've heard us say that before. So it's really up to you to determine your fate by keeping your attitude right, so you can be soaring at your highest level with your altitude. And it is contagious. If you are positive, proactive, and you're really energized, so will your other people around you be, especially your sales staff, and they're going to be more likely to support you in the way you want them to.
As we move into number three, the number three on our list of things that cause people to give 5-star reviews, it's being helpful, even if there's nothing in it for them. So if we don't have a customer in the F&I office, we've made all our callbacks, and we very rarely have those moments where we're looking for something to do, but we have it. We should be with our best customer, which is the sales department. Whether we help out at the desk, take a TO, spend some time training and developing, greeting a customer, whatever. We have to ask, how can I help? Sometimes they may not ask for any help, but just by asking that question goes a long way. A question to ask yourself is, how helpful are you to the sales department? The number one trait, and Paul, you can back me up on this, the number one trait we've identified in F&I departments that are producing above benchmark or at the top is that the desk and F&I work well together. And when these two components are working well together to increase and maximize profit on every deal, very, very good things happen.
Absolutely. And if you want to get more out of 2018, put more in. That's my recommendation to you. If you submerge yourself in the opportunity in 2018, you will maximize the opportunity that you take away from 2018, whether it be income or whether it be moving your career forward or anything else that surrounds you personally or in your career path. So stay on it.
Number 4 on the list was a well-trained staff. You can tell when you're in a store or a restaurant when the staff's been well-trained, and unfortunately it's obvious when they haven't been. In the F&I process, it's starting online now. When the customers first enter their search for vehicles, they start seeing offers, they start getting information about products, and they start having questions. So my question I want to pose today is, how well is your sales staff dealing with those questions that they hear in the sales process that deal with interest rates, products, things, those types of things? We have a choice. We can let the sales department do their thing and complain about how we get cut out sometimes, or we can do something about it and be proactive and get out there and train the sales staff to use the responses that we want them to when they're faced with those types of questions. So
on that, I've been in dealerships and I sit in front of an F&I manager and a salesperson comes in with a deal and they're complaining. The salesperson walks out and they're like, every single time I get a deal from this guy, it's always a wreck. It's always missing this, always missing that, all these other things. And I said, have you ever sat down and talked with him about what you really need, why you really need it? He's like, well, no. I said, well, how do you expect him to get any better at what he does for you if you don't give him those expectations and take a few minutes? That's kind of the definition of insanity, isn't it? Expecting the salesperson to improve when we don't put in the effort to improve them so that they can improve for us. And the other thing I want to do, as far as it's kind of in the training realm, but attend all your sales meetings and always participate, and then also always throw out an attaboy to one of the sales staff, and maybe even put out a gift card or something out there for recognition of them doing a great job and helping you put a good deal together and recognize the extra product sales.
Well,
hello. Please stand by.
Please stand
Technical
by.
difficulty.
Yeah, I'm not getting the. Oh, it's interesting.
Okay, now try it.
There we go. Okay, be responsive, unlike my PowerPoint presentation here. Number one research, all our research tells us the number one complaint people have when it comes to what we do is the wait. Waiting to get in, waiting to get into the office, and our customer, the sales department, doesn't like to wait. Heck, nobody likes to wait. So, how many stars do you think the DMV would get? Probably not very many. And, is dealing with your department like dealing with the DMV? I know that's kind of an extreme example, but what I mean is, are we prepared? Are we efficient? Are we quick? Desking on a busy day can be challenging, just like having deal after deal after deal in the F&I office. And can we help the desk get the information they need from us as quickly as possible? Are we organized in the F&I office so that we can process the deals as quickly as possible? If you're not delivering a deal, pitch in on the desk and do whatever's needed. And my question to the group is, how often are you at the sales desk? How often are you interacting with a sales manager? I was in a dealership the other day, and the F&I person was talking about how the desk, was getting in the habit of desking everybody at a max term right out of the gate, and how it was kind of killing them in F&I. And we've all heard that before. That's not an uncommon thing. And I challenged them to move out of the F&I office, get out there on the desk, and work with the desk manager and the sales manager and the salespeople to kind of help keep that from happening. So, get out there and work on the desk. That's how you can kind of stop those types of things that are frustrating you in the F&I office.
You end up steering things the direction you want them to go. And really, perception is reality. Once you get out there and they see you interacting, their perception is much higher of what they can expect from you and what they can anticipate and how you're going to help them make business. So your perception in their mind raises dramatically.
So I'm expecting to see a bunch of people hang up after I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ask for feedback and use it. As an F&I manager, when was the last time you went to the sales manager and asked them how you could serve them better?
Oh!
Seriously.
Bring me lunch.
You might be doing some things that are causing issues on the desk that you're not aware of. And sometimes a simple change that makes it easier for the sales department and only causes you to make a slight adjustment can go a long way. I understand you have to do things a certain way and that they can't be changed, but there might be something that we can do to help the desk, serve the desk, and take care of our best customer. So we need to look for those. So when we ask for feedback, listen and see if there's a way that we might be able to implement it.
Absolutely. Don't be reactive about it. Take it for what it is and use what you can and throw out the rest, because you're going to probably get a combination of things that are really relative and things that may not be. So don't take it personal. Just use what you can and move on, but help to improve.
Whoa. Take the extra step. One of my favorite examples of this in F&I is resurrecting the dead. You want to serve your best customer. Watch what happens when you go to the desk and tell them that a dead deal that you couldn't get financing on a few days ago has life now because you've matched the customer to a trade that just came in, improved the structure, or you got the customer to put more money down, which got an approval of some sort that the desk can work with. That's teamwork. And the sales department will know, if you do that, that salesperson's going to think you're an F&I Jedi. So, look for those opportunities.
Again, that's the perception is reality situation. And you want your front end to all think that you walk on water, you're the best closer in the world, and you're the one that they can come to when nobody else can put the deal together. And that really stands tall for you, both in your community as far as the dealership and beyond, as far as your dealer group and so forth.
Great, throw in something extra. Do something extra to help the sales department, a sales manager, take a TO, fill in on the desk if you have the ability. Occasionally organize something for them. You know what I'm talking about. We all love it when we're at a restaurant and the waiter comes over and says the chef would like to give you this or these desserts are on the house. It surprises us in a good way. try surprising the sales department or the sales manager in a good way and see what happens.
It really comes down to the old adage, under promise and over deliver. If you're constantly looking to over deliver, you're going to get some really good responses on coming back at you as well. And not all of them are monetary, but a lot of them will function to help you with your monetary situation and maximize that.
You know, in business, we all get complaints, and the statistics around complaints are pretty interesting. And they say that if you can handle a customer complaint and do it in a quick and professional manner, the customer is more likely to be loyal to you than a customer who never had a problem in the first place. So if the sales department or the sales manager are complaining about something that you're doing, we got to think about it for a second. You know, we're stuck with them and they're stuck with us. We might as well make the best of it. And, you know, if you're getting a complaint from the sales department, handle it like you would any other complaint. Listen to what they're saying. People complain because of how they feel, usually, how something that has occurred makes them feel. So deal with that first. I didn't know you felt that way. Or I think I understand how you feel about that. Let me see if I can fix it. And try to fix it. If you can't fix it, at least you've acknowledged it and explained what you can do. And that's usually what customers want. So let's move on to number 10. Paul, you got anything?
Yeah, when you're dealing with complaints, there's one of the things I want to throw in there with it. One of them is they're not usually going to go away. They just get worse, kind of like CITs as they age. Bananas on the counter, they just get worse before they get better. And the other thing is helping customers with claims. I see not infrequently a customer will come in or they'll call in with a claim, concern, question, whatever, and the F&I manager's like, oh, the service department's like 50 feet down there. I just head down there. You know, help them out. You sold the product. You got paid the commission. Help them initiate their claim. Get them tied together so that they can achieve what their goal, and that is to get their claim covered with the product you told them it would cover it for them. And so if you do that, you're going to have much better results. Actually, the statistics are if a customer buys a car from you, they're four times more likely to buy a car from you. Next time, if they buy a car from you, have a problem that you handle for them successfully, they're 16 times more likely to buy a car from you and tell somebody else about it as well. So that's what we want to create in the dealership, and it's up to you to carry the ball with your part and do that as well.
Number 10 is customers say one of the things that compels them to give a 5-star review is that they felt like they were listened to. You know, clear and open communication is important. The sales department wants to know that you hear them, have listened to what they're communicating, and understand what they've communicated. And remember, we listen with our eyes more than our ears. Body language is the way we communicate. So, you know, you can see what they're saying, if you know what I mean. So number 10 is listen. Kind of goes without saying.
And if you listen closely and digest it before you respond, you're going to get all the information you need, and then you can take appropriate action, you know, whatever it is. Listen to your customer. One of the biggest things, especially females, if you don't listen to them, you are doing yourself a huge disservice because they're going to tell you what you need to do in order to accomplish your mission. And by shutting that pipeline off, you're basically taking a long way around it, maybe not even getting there. So get yourself a 5-star review.
So based on what we've talked about, my question would be, you know, how many stars would you get? What would you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You know, what kind of a review would you get now based on what we've talked about? So let's go over it real quick. 1 is know your product. Be the product expert. Always know the answer to any product question. Be friendly. Say thank you. Be calm and friendly no matter what the circumstances. Be helpful even if there's nothing in it for you. Nothing drives performance more positively than teamwork between F&I and the desk. Train your staff. Help the desk. Help you by training the salespeople to respond the way you want them to in any given situation. Be responsive. Be prepared, efficient, and quick. Don't be the DMV. Ask for feedback and use it. Make it easier for your customers and sales to do business with you. Take the extra step. Resurrect that dead deal. Bringing your customer a deal that they thought was dead is demonstrating teamwork and builds a lot of relationship capital. Throw in something extra. Surprise the sales department in a good way. Deal with complaints. Remember, complaints are opportunities in disguise. And listen, when the F&I and desk are communicating clearly and openly, good things will result for sure. So, with that in mind, any questions or comments?
You know, we pretty much everybody, with very few exceptions, had a huge close to 2017, and they were rolling into 2018. And a lot of stores didn't get totally vaulted out of the gate. They're actually escalating as we talk. So you really have the opportunity right now to kind of review, set some goals, and look at how you're going to accomplish those. We'll love to help you with those. But these items should help you focus a little bit better on what certain things in your dealership, in your daily activities, and in your repertoire can you focus on to help make the synergy better between you, the sales staff, and the desk, and accomplish more both in your achievement and your personal income in 2018.
Anybody with a question or a comment?
You're all open mic for as far as I can see.
I can see we're going to have to start bribing for questions and comments.
Yes.
Okay.
Was that somebody? All right, without any questions or comments, I guess we'll wrap it up. Thanks.
We hope you enjoyed this webinar. Thanks for your attendance.
If anybody's interested in a transcript or a copy, just go ahead and email me, and we'll send it.
And if you have multiple people in your office that were participating in the webinar, please email John and let him know so those people can get on the attendance log for webinars. And your email is?
Well, let's go put it right up there. jtabor@udsdealerservices.com.
And there we are. Have a great rest of the week, great rest of the month, and very successful one as well.